Hello, hello, hello. Great evening, great people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another beautiful Monday that we are coming together for Sister to Sister. Let's Talk Power Moves tonight. Super excited to be here this evening. I am Mone't Horton, your guest, your host, excuse me, and I'm excited to have you all as my guest tonight. Welcome on, welcome on. I see you coming on in. Come on in the room. This is a place where you are welcome to come. And we ask you to come on in and click and share, click and share. We have a phenomenal guest tonight, amazing woman, young woman in her own right. And I'm super excited to be here with you today. Again, this is our ninth showing of Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. I am your host, Mone't S. Horton. Super excited to be here tonight with you. It is a marvelous Monday. Another opportunity to have a fresh start, a new beginning. What is it that you need? What is it that you're looking for? Come on in the room tonight. This is a space that has been created. I see you coming on in. I see you coming on in. Yes, you are welcome to come in. Come on in. Come on in. Mom, I borrowed that from you. You see me out there. I see you. I see you. Yes, come on in. This is a space that has been created just for you, for uplifting. All right, uplifting. We are here to share. We are here to care. We are here to love on you. This is a safe space. This is a sacred space. And I am super excited to be the visionary of this space. Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. And tonight I have an absolutely amazing guest here. I see her. She is showing up tonight. And I'm going to ask her to go ahead and request to join in by video, and we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Go ahead and I will accept you. Let me know everybody that you can hear me loud and clearly. I see you. Just come on and I will accept you. Everybody, again, great evening. My name is Mone't S. Horton, and I am your host of Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. This is a space that has been created not for just the ordinary, but I'm going to say the extraordinary woman. All right. An extraordinary woman who is making powerful moves in her life, daily life, in her business, in her ministry. All right. And this is a space where we come and share. We have conversations with each other, taking off the mask, unpacking, unloading, and we are able to really just come on common ground to share so that we can be empowered to make our next move. So again, I'm super excited to be here tonight, and I see my guest. She is coming on in. And there we go. I'm excited. He's coming on in the room, everybody. I have the privilege and the honor tonight to welcome my guest. She is also my cousin. She is a woman. She is a daughter. She is a mother. She is did I say wife already? A newlywed. I'm just going to say she's still a newlywed. And so I'm so excited to have her tonight. And I know I think she put out a post today that, hey, I'm nervous, but I'm showing up. And look, in this space, it's okay. We take a breath, we lean in, because this is what we do on a regular basis. We show up in life. And so, no pressure, but this is a space where we can definitely share. And so she's here, y'all. She is here. Can you hear me? Mrs. Carol, can you hear me? Let me know that you can hear me. She is there, y'all. Let's show her some love as she's getting settled in. I want to make sure. Let me know that everyone can still hear me as well. Just want to make sure. There we go. Can you hear me, Mrs. Carl?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So tonight, everyone, again, welcome into Sister to Sister, Sister to Sister, Talk Power Moves. I am your dynamic host, Mone't S. Horton. I am the visionary of Sister to Sister, and I'm super excited to create this space for women. And we also have men to join as well. We have some treats that's coming up very soon. But this is a space that I have envisioned creating for women to come and connect, to come and share, to come and just really take down all of the many hats that we wear every day. Whether you have one hat, you have two hats, you have 5, 15, 20, all of those hats that we wear every day. And to really be able to pull back the layers, to, take off the mask, and have some real conversations unapologetically so that we can be empowered to move to our next. And number one, before we move to our next, to powerfully stand in our existence right now. And so tonight, again, this is our ninth show. We've had some amazing women to blaze the trail, and we know that we are still in Women's History Month. And this month, I am really opening up the floor to some amazing women. They are extraordinary women in their everyday lives who are doing some amazing things, and they're showing up powerfully, and they are also making some power moves. Some of these moves that you don't know, you don't see them on channel 45, whatever your news station is, right? However, this is a space where we are highlighting these amazing women. And so tonight I have the privilege and the pleasure to invite my sister friend, my cousin. Oh my goodness, we have so many names and titles, right, over the years, to this space. Formerly Jaquel Moore, now Mrs. Jaquel Carroll. And tonight she is going to come and she's going to share. We're going to engage. I know how we do this over here. We engage in conversation. We go with the flow. We have some points. And guess what? We have a topic. And tonight's topic is, wait a minute. Were you ready, Jaquel, when I said that topic to you? When I told you, we was like, whoo, wait a minute. So y'all, if you haven't already, before we dig into this topic, I need you to click and share. Don't just keep this to yourself. Click and share with somebody, okay? And tonight's topic is birthing and manifestation. Can somebody say just birthing and manifestation? And so also over here, before we engage in this conversation, over here we do hashtags. We hashtag if something hits you, if it hits you a certain way, if it caused you to move or hit your heart, it does something for you, just go ahead and hashtag it. But we'll start off. You can hashtag birthing and manifestation. When I thought of you, Jaquel, first of all, I said, you know what? I'm going to ask Jaquel to come and join me in this space. And when I thought about you, I thought about birthing and manifestation. And when I thought about those words, so much came to my mind. Just knowing you over the years, um, I know you as a nurturer. You have been, and we haven't even talked about this or anything, right? So just telling people, right, exactly. But just from my standpoint, you have nurtured relationships. I always, oh my goodness, Jaquel is the one who pulls us together. She picks up the phone in the middle of nowhere. We haven't probably talked in a couple weeks, if it's a couple days, if a couple months. Hey, how you doing? How are you? When we getting together, that is you, right? And so she does that, and I'm like, wow. Some of these qualities, some of these things I wish now, I check in on my people. However, sometimes I can get consumed in what I'm doing, moving, that I
Mhm.
might not be able to pick with that phone. I might send a text message to say, hey, checking in. But she picks up the phone, sends a text, and she organizes the event. When we was growing up, she did uh, I would never forget the time when she reached out to my mother. I came home. She was laying across my bed. I said, wait a minute. I didn't know we were having this. I didn't know we was having a sleepover tonight. But she is one who will make the connections. And over the years, that has developed in so many other ways. I've seen you as a mother. Um, just growing up, you have always had that inside of you that, you know what, I want to be a mother, right? Not only a mother, but I mean, the children always drew to you, right? We know, your mom has her own business. Hey, shout out Lydia. And the children are there. And she has always, you have always, those children always around your legs. I'm like, wow. And so I've always seen that in you. So now you are a mother of two, right? Caden is Caden getting ready to be what? A teenager? What?
Yep.
And then we have Hunter. And so I'm not going to jump into your introduction, but you are a mother. So we're going to talk about that process in the natural, but
Okay.
then also in the spiritual. I have also seen you have the desire to be, a wife,
Yes.
a desire to have your own family. And let me tell you something. My cousin manifested this thing, okay? See, we don't talk about those things. We do I don't know, we individuals think that we just show up at the aisle. No, it's a process. But that waiting period. And so when I thought about those words and I thought about you, birthing and manifestation. And so tonight, in our own way, in your own way, I want you to share, introduce yourself, one, but then we're going to transition into this conversation around that. And I'm going to allow you to share in your own way of what birthing and what manifestation means to you. And you can tie it in however you want. But again, I want to welcome you to this platform and thank you for your yes. Ladies and gentlemen who's watching tonight, this is Mrs. Jaquel Carroll. Please go forth in introducing yourself. Welcome.
All right. So, well, first, a woman of God. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a creative. I am a connector. So many people call me that. So I changed the message. Um, I am a uh, in um, so I am right. Um, okay, to come on her platform and thank you for allowing me to be. I was like, girl, no. I mean, I didn't tell her no, but in my mind, no, man.
Can you 1 minute, Jaquan? I want to make sure that it can hear you. I think he said you're breaking up just a little bit. So I don't know if it's
What?
the volume or if you can want to make sure we can hear all of this good stuff tonight.
All right.
Everyone, let us know that you can hear us. Again, we don't want to miss a beat. We don't want to miss a beat. So I see you all. Can someone just type in tonight, if you can, birthing and manifestation? As our guest is preparing to come back in, I believe that this is a season. The one word that God has given me this year, and this is, a Christian platform, and we share, that God has given one word, and that is execution. Execution. Before we can get to execution, there is a birthing, or in that process of birthing, that takes place. And so Let me go ahead and accept her to come in, and hopefully this is much better that you can all hear. But I want this to be, I pray that this is an encouragement to everybody tonight, that whatever you may think about, put in your mind as we embark on this conversation, what it is that you may be carrying around, that idea, that business, that concept, that project at work, wherever you may be, that you might be in the process of holding back, or maybe like trying to get the guts, trying to get, maybe you've doubted yourself. And Jaquel, I'm still here. I am waiting so that I can accept you to come back in. But I believe this is a time for those women who are in that birth position to truly manifest everything that God has put in you to do. And you're like right on the brink of that thing. I know that sometimes um, obstacles come in your way, and sometimes it might not be um something may happen where you wasn't prepared for it to happen. A shift may happen to your job, they decide to go another way. Something may happen at school. Whatever it may be, things happen for a reason. But how many of you, is it anyone, let me just ask, anyone out there who may feel like I'm on a brink of something. I don't know what it is, but it's a stirring up in me, and it's a feeling. You might feel like you're like, it's an out of body experience. It can be all of those things. All of us experience it in different ways. But I want us to be in tune. As women, we got to be in tune with our bodies. Like, we know when that time of month is coming, you have cramp stuff show up for you. You're sleeping, you fatigue, all of those things. Just as well as we feel those things happening, and Jaquel, again, I'm looking for you to come back. Just as well as we feel those things, and we're in tune with our body, we have to be in tune with the purpose for our lives. Be in tune with the purpose for your life and get clarity on it. So again, I believe that this is a season of birthing and execution. I have never ever experienced the physical birth and carrying a baby right yet. But I have, oh my goodness, I feel God in terms of like I'm carrying so many things. And so in this season, I'm birthing it out. It's time to birth it out. I'm not putting a hold or pause on anything. And so, welcome back. I think we see your little flip. So pull yourself on the other side so we can see you. Let's do a little sound check. But this is that season.
Yes.
Okay. Do your microphone check?
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's better.
Okay.
Can y'all hear us now? Awesome. So I was just giving our guest just talking a little bit about this time that I believe is a season of birthing out whatever your, I'm gonna say dot dot dot, you fill in the blank, and in a season of manifestation.
Yes.
And so just before you go into finish your introduction again, I just want to define. I was looking up, what does birth mean? What does birth mean? And in the Webster's dictionary, it says that it's an emergence. If we're thinking about a woman, having a child, it's an emergence of a baby from their mother's body, a whole separate person. And so that's birthing. That's the birth. And the birthing is the process of giving birth. Manifestation is the act, a process, or an instance where you can where you can visibly and outly of an outward and visible expression. And so basically what that means is, really taking, like, how we have ideas, it goes from your mind to the reality. You can visualize it, you can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can taste it. That's when we manifest, or we're manifesting, or manifestation. That process has taken place. And so hold those in your mind as we embark on this conversation. So I think we're good, Jaquel.
Okay.
Let's go.
So y'all can hear me good. Okay, cool. All right, so I do apologize. We was having technical difficulties, but I apologize. I'm back. So again, like I said, I'm Jaquel. I'm a woman. I am a wife and a mother. When Mone't called me to do birthday manifestation, I was like, okay, all right, cool. And I was praying about it because I was like, okay, I was thinking about all the good things, right? Because when we think about birthing and manifestation, we think about, the exciting part of it. We think about, the joys of our visions, our dreams, our aspirations coming to life, right? But we don't talk about the process, like Mone't was saying, right? We don't talk about the challenges that come along with birthing, or come along with carrying the child, or the thing that God put in place in us into birthing, right? So Mone't platform is called, we're talking about her story, right? So I'm here to share my story.
Yes.
I was like, oh my Lord. When I was writing things down, I feel like the Lord was just like, share your story and be honest. And I'm like, ooh, right now on live? Okay, no problem. So here we go. My story. As you all know, I do have 2 living children, right? But prior to Caden, I was pregnant. And while being pregnant, I was young, right? And I was young, I was confused, I was like, dang, I'm really pregnant. Okay, cool, what we going to do? In my brain, I'm like, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to carry it out, and whatever happens, happens, right? That was my mindset. However, of course, you had people who talk like, "Hey, you're young. You don't need a baby right now. You don't need to. You just need to focus on you. A baby is going to stop what you're trying to do, right?" So that moment, it kind of altered my decision. And altering my decision, it caused me to terminate the pregnancy, right? And when I thought about that, I was like, dang, you know, in real life, or in the spiritual mindset, when we're birthing or when we're pregnant with something, sometimes we can allow people or things around us to alter our decision to continue on with the process, right? So when God placed something in you, it's like, again, when you're talking to other people, they can kind of distort your vision or distort what you have inside of you to cause you to quit, to cause you to terminate the process, right? It's supposed to be birth. So then I said, all right, cool, that happened. In that moment, I was regretful. I was like, I was hurt. I was angry. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and have another baby, because I got rid of this baby, right? And that's when Caden came. Sometimes, and let me slow down a little bit because I'm nervous.
You
But
got it. You got it.
sometimes we can be, when we have something in us and we let it ride, or we let it go, or we give it up, we try to replace that thing, right? Um, and with replacing it, it's like, you're not ready. It wasn't time. All these thoughts. All you know is, I got to replace this thing. And in the natural, that's what I tried to do, right? But God is still faithful. He's still good. And that's what I did. When I think about birthing, when I was pregnant with Kaden, I went through the process of carrying her. And the process of carrying her, naturally, I was sick. I was, you know, I was in and out of the hospital because they found something with Kaden. Um, again, I was young. I didn't know no better. All I knew is this time I was going to carry this baby through. And a lot of times when we're birthing something, or when we have like in the natural, when we plan for our pregnancy or plan for our delivery, we have a plan. Like we have, okay, we want to do a vaginal, we want to, do an in-home delivery. Um, we want this, we want these people in here. We have the who, the what, the where, when, and why, right? We want to hear, we want to be at this hospital, we want to do a vaginal birth, we want these people in the room, whatever your plan is. But a lot of times, that's not what God wants, right? We have this idea of what we should be doing or where we should be. But sometimes, like with Kaden, she came early. And all the plans that I had, it it didn't happen. It didn't, I had a C-section, but the outcome was she's here and she saved my life, right?
Wow.
She's here and she saved my life. We always have these, like I said, when it comes down to birth and the process. One second, I just need a minute. I'm nervous.
No, you take your time because you just said a whole lot already, Jaquel. You can we give some love, some hearts out there, y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all hear us out here. This because even this process right here is the birthing. This is a manifestation. This is the birthing. And so we thank God for this space and this space right here, because I think even the other day we were talking briefly as we connected, right? And yeah, I mean, we know that this is a part of that process. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go back in. But you speaking.
So sorry, y'all. I'm going to be a little tripped up, but I'm going to do this because I made it to myself and said that I'm going to go on here and share my story, right? So, like I said, Kaden came. A lot of times when we think about birthing, all we think about, like I said, it's just the delivery. It's just the baby coming through. But again, we don't think about the process. And when I think about some of the things that, like I said, I can only go from what my experience is and, compare it to the spiritual or to what God has, birthed inside of you, because that's what I know.
Yeah.
When I was going through the pregnancy with Kaden, like I said, I had, gestational diabetes. I had preeclampsia. I had kidney failure, which caused me to have a C-section. And at that moment, it's like, Lord, I got this baby inside of me. You told me I was going to be healthy. Or not even told me, but I'm thinking I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to carry this baby 9 months and have this smooth, perfect pregnancy. But no, I had to go through some things. Like, I had to go through some things to make sure that this baby came forth healthy, right? And a lot of times when we think about the things that God has in us that we have to carry, it's like we go through the disappointment. We go through the disappointment of, what we thought that it should be. We go through the disappointment of just, I'm sorry, Alexa came on. Alexa, turn off.
Alexa trying to tap into the process. Come on. Can y'all just hashtag before Jaquel go back? Hashtag I have to go through. I have to go through. I have to go through. Yes, I have to go through. But go ahead, Jaquel.
So we had to go through. We had to go through. Like I said, we had this plan, and the plan is great. But if it's not according to the will of God, no, no. And again, when you're birthing something, we have to think about the process. When you tell God your yes, when He puts something inside of you, you just gotta go forth. We again, when I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I feel like it was a conviction for myself because there's some things that I know that God has in me that still needs to be birthed. And one thing that I feel like that I know that He was speaking was that same energy that you use to knowing that you're pregnant, you're going to take care of this child, you're going to provide for this child, you're going to feed this child, you're going to nurture this child, you're going to do all these things without knowing where, who, or what is going to be there or give it to you. You just know that you have this child. It's the same energy that we have to put into what God has for us. He placed whatever is in us. All we know is it has to come through. And trust the fact that God is going to provide the resources. He's going to give you a full term, even if it's preterm baby, but it's healthy.
Somebody better give her some hearts out here. Sister came in here and preached. She preaching tonight. It's not even, whoo,
The
Jesus,
Lord,
help me over here.
He was really, like I said, He was really convicting me or just showing me a mirror of my process of having this baby. And like I said, when you have your baby in the natural, all you know is this baby. You got it. You have all these things to do. Like you have responsibilities
And we dedicated to it. Were you dedicated?
And committed to it, right? And that's the same energy that we have to put into whatever God placed inside of us, knowing that that baby has to come through, that baby has to be nurtured, that baby has to be taken care of until it can take care of itself. Right?
Wow. Dedicated throughout the process. You don't know what's coming.
Don't know what's coming.
You don't know you don't know how you're going to pay it, but 18 years is the minimum, right?
That's the minimum, but go past that, right? But yes, that's the minimum. And again, it's the same trust that we have to have with the things that God placed inside of it, whether it's a business, whether it's a ministry, whether it's whatever it is, whatever your what is, or whatever God had placed inside of you. When you birth that thing, you just have to trust that God is going to see you through.
The same trust.
The same
Trust. Y'all can hashtag if you want. The same trust.
the same trust, right?
Somebody say
So
pancake.
and a lot of times, I have two children, like I said, but after Kaden, I got pregnant again, and because out of I'm like, oh man, I already got a baby. I can't. Ain't this how we wrestle with God, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this. I can't, carry no more children or care for no more children. So out of fear, I aborted another baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we do. God will give us something and we say, well, Lord, how am I supposed to speak? Like right now, I have this little piece in my mouth and I'm like, speak. I have a speech impediment right now. I'm like Moses. How am I supposed to speak? And a lot of times, like I said, because of our fear, a fear of being unworthy, or our feelings of feeling unworthy, feelings of like just not knowing the what, how, who, where, why, we work the process, right? But God, that's all I can say when it comes down to that. But God. So that happened. I'm like, okay, God, I know I said I want a husband. I want this family, but here it is. I'm creating this family with no husband. And how are you gonna give me this husband? Like, that's what I was thinking.
You
Like,
start questioning.
yeah, you start questioning. So I'm like, are you gonna do this for me? Because here it is. I then aborted, had a baby, aborted again. Why would you reward me with something I desired? right? And one thing that people know me as, or if you know me, I'm a journal. Like, I write. I love to write. I write
Yeah.
down everything, because once I, continued in my process on my journey, my faith in God heightened, right? My faith in God was just like, you know what, God, you told me to write the vision down, make it plain. You told me that you would give me the desires of my heart.
Yes.
Told me that you're faithful to perform. You told me all of these things. So let me go ahead and put my faith to work, right? So I started writing down more what I wanted. And one of the things, like Monet said, was a family. I wanted my own family. I wanted a dance school, or I want a dance school. It's certain things that I want. And so again, I started writing. So then as I continue on, I had Kaden. Of course, 11 years later, I met my husband. Um, Everything was great. We dated. I met him in 2019. I married him in 2020. um,
She wasn't playing, y'all. She was, that process was going.
right. We. But can I tell y'all, sometimes, and this is my truth, okay? My story. Sometimes we ask God, we desire something so much that when we get it, I wrote down this stuff, right? In my book, and I had to go back. I said, I didn't write down I wanted to move out of state. I didn't write down that I wanted to be away from my family and friends. Like, what is this, right? So,
Shift. So this totally shifted you, right?
okay. And that's what I mean by a lot of times, because that was something that was birthed or manifested. A lot of times we had this plan, we had what we desire, what we want, how we want to birth this thing. But sometimes God be like, I need you gonna have this baby in a car, or you gonna have this baby in your house, or you gonna have a C-section, or or whatever the case may be. And
Mm, mm, mm.
Lord, like it's so crazy, because until today is when I realized what the Lord was doing. Because I was mad. I was angry, right? I got
Wow.
the manifestation of my husband,
Mm-hmm.
manifestation of having another child, because that was something that I did, right? Be careful what you pray for, what you write, because I was like, Lord, if you give me a husband with no children, I will give him one. Who child? If I would have knew back then what I know now, I'm
You
like,
wrote
Lord.
that. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But no. So the Lord gave me all this. I'm happy. I'm joyful, and then it hit me. I'm I'm out of my environment. I'm in a new place. I'm in a new state, away from my family, away from my friends, away from my norm. Right? I'm away from what's comfortable
Mm.
for me, and so I didn't transition well. I didn't birth well, or even though, like I said, with that manifestation of desiring my husband, it was like I didn't appreciate, because it wasn't where or the what I planned in my book, right? And the Lord took me back to the description that He will give you desires of your heart according to His will, pretty much. And
That's
that
it.
was where I, you know what I mean, didn't align, right? And that's my truth. And but today, like I said, when I was thinking about the things that I was going to say, the Lord was just giving me a mirror of, yeah, you went through birth and you delivered what I gave you, and you're still carrying it. And things that I wrote down has manifested, but it was just like, I did my part, now you have to do your part.
Mm. That
It's like,
part of the.
now you have to do your part, right? And now I'm in a place where it's like, okay, I'm adjusting. I'm getting in this, So here it is. I had Kaden. I'm married now. Now we're here with Hunter. this pregnancy, right? And with this pregnancy, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have a gender reveal party. I'm gonna have, again, my plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
To, at the time I was like, I want an in-home birth,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. And God's like, yeah, no, here you go again.
Yeah.
And he turned that thing around, but with the thing that I got out of it was that he was with me throughout the process, even in my disobedience, even in my frustration, even in my anxiety, even in, the things that scared me or feared or I feared. He was and is with me. Right. So I ended up having Hunter, another C-section. Um, and she's here. And like I said, the Lord was just sharing with me, and He was just like, "It's going to come through. It's going to come to pass, but it has to be the way I want it to come to pass. Because if I'm supposed, whatever is inside of us, if it's supposed to fulfill His kingdom or enlarge His kingdom on the earth, it has to be aligned with the Lord. It has to be. So again, in my process, you know." It was it's a process. It's definitely a process.
Can we just sit right there, Jaquel, in that process? Y'all, she has said so much. I am seeing this chat just this blow up here because that birthing and that manifestation, that's a process. What came to my mind, because you talked about how even in a natural birth, pregnancy, you're preparing, you're doing all of these things, you're just preparing for it. But then you wasn't looking for the challenge to come.
Mm-mm.
You wasn't looking for the obstacles to come, the sicknesses to come. We know the regular sicknesses that come with a pregnancy, but no
Mm-hmm.
one said, preeclampsia and all those other things, right? I don't know. You have them, right?
Oh my God.
But you said some other stuff that happened, and it's like we don't look forward to those things.
Mm-mm.
It's the unexpected things that happen. But
Mm-hmm.
even through that, you said that you realized even that God was with you the whole way. So even if we're going through challenges, we're going through the process, He's still with us. But as we started out with hashtag, I have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to go through. And I had wrote something down. What I wrote down when you said, as you were talking, is that we have to stop waiting for the perfect conditions.
Yes. Yes.
Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Um, and just because it's not a perfect condition, that doesn't mean that God has left you
That,
alone.
that's right. That's correct.
Because even through everything that you went through with the physical birth,
Mm-hmm.
that you have Caden is here 13 years later, beautiful, growing beautifully, and God has blessed us by His grace, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so we got to stop looking for the perfect condition. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions because you in your mind wanted this to happen. Bam, this was
Yeah.
happening. This is what I want. I want this. If that don't happen, then this can't happen. Y'all know how we do. I know I'm a perfectionist, so I'm like, I want this to happen. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're waiting for manifesting our gifts, manifesting our the goals and dreams. We got it on hold because we don't have this amount of money stocked up, you know, in in the bank. But God may be saying, I got a grant over here. But or if you can just make the conscious decision to step into it, I'm going then let the river flow for you.
That's it.
And
And that.
so whoever is out there today, Jaquel dropped a whole lot of nuggets, but let's stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Sometimes, when the boss come and the people come, all the leaders come and they say, hey, this the green, I'm not supposed to say green slip, but the pink slip. They got
Yeah.
so many slips out there. The pink slip. And in your mind, you had already been talking about, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur one day. Oh, I want to move to this position. I want to move that to that position. But then the day they give you the pink slip, you weren't looking for the pink slip. You were still working on your 10-year plan, exit.
Yeah.
But could it be that God's like, look, this is the opportune time to reevaluate because time is of the essence. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so I had that. And then you talked about getting out of your comfort zone. Processing is it's not easy. And this thing wasn't a what? This not a microwave thing. You stick it in and get right back out. It's
No.
like that oven, when you cooking that turkey, it's
Yeah. Yeah. And then even after delivery, you know, some women, and like I said, I can go from the natural. Like with Hunter, I dealt with extreme postpartum depression. And with that, even with, and I think about, sometimes, like I said, when we birth something that God has given us, like a gift or a vision or a dream or a ministry, whatever that is, we can birth it out. But then afterwards, it's like all this stuff hits you like, okay, I got this responsibility, I got this, I got that, blah, blah, blah. And then you go into a place where it's just like, I can't do this, right?
mm,
But in that, I just want you to be encouraged to continue on. That it's all a part of the process. I didn't realize that me having postpartum depression, having suicidal thoughts, having anxiety, having these different things would really help somebody else. And I wasn't, trust me, I don't want it. I ain't want it. I ain't want the stuff. I ain't want it was something. And I'm still healing from it, right?
yeah,
But I didn't realize how it helps somebody else. You don't know who's watching. You don't know who needs your story or who
mm,
needs what God placed it in you for his reason, right? And sometimes we're reaching people who are not in our immediate circle
yeah.
or people who you wouldn't even expect that is watching you. But you have to go through it again to help somebody, to save somebody else's life.
So it's not even about us. We're going through it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's not about us.
It's not about us. And like I said, going through this whole birthing process, whew, like you said, it's not microwave. Some people, again, it's all in God's time, and some people carry, less than 9 months. Some people go over 9 months,
Mm.
but it's all in what God wanted. And
Can we
how, I'm
go ahead?
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So can we talk about? I was talking about this a little bit earlier with my mother, and well, we were just talking and so we were talking about just in the natural how when you are pregnant, your body is literally being what?
Sure.
Stretched. Right. I mean, we were talking about this thing was getting good. I said, wait, my mother called Jaquel now and do a live right now on the spot
Listen.
because I was like, wait a minute, don't take me there. But we, your body is literally being stretched. How many times does just in our physical, when we're going through a process of, it's something inside of you that you want to, do, or in your mind, you can't even fathom it. It's like, all right, Lord, you gave me that. But like you said with your own mouth, like I see myself, I want a dance school. I want this. And y'all, by the way, Jaquel is a phenomenal, like, I know we used to call it liturgical dances, but I don't know what's the new word. Is it still liturgical? It's just a dancer of the Lord. I don't know.
Yes, just that.
But she can do it, okay? I mean, have you just laid out on the ground. But anyway, yes. So Booker, okay. But your body is literally stretched.
Mm-hmm.
Can we think about that in the spiritual?
Mm-hmm.
And that God, when he gives us something and we're like, wait a minute, or he takes us through a season of being isolated. Ooh, I know me, y'all. I was in a season of isolation. I was in a season of like, it felt like it was a muzzle on my mouth. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if does that make sense? Like I felt like even if I wanted to press and go on Facebook Live or do something, the Lord said no. Sit down.
That's it. Yeah.
So, but he's stretching you or he's doing something inside of you. And
Mm-hmm.
so another piece of that stretch is having stretch marks.
You have the marks to prove.
The marks to prove it.
To prove it.
And we were talking about that with every stretch mark, it's like I wrote some notes, y'all.
Yeah.
Every stretch mark, with every stretch mark, there is a purpose.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Don't let your stretch marks go in vain. We can't abort. We cannot abort the process. So you said you talked about, you had a process where, you aborted, then you birthed, then you aborted, and you birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a whole process in itself.
Yes.
But how many times, because here we again, birthing and manifestation, dreams, getting out here, executing, doing the action. But how many times do we get up? And it's like we on a emotional roller coaster. It's like, all right, Lord, I'm here. I'm ready to do what you told me to do. And we do it.
Yeah.
We get the momentum.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Then something happen, an obstacle come, a challenge come.
Oh, child.
Disease come. Something come. Knock us off.
Yeah.
That thing is aborted. That thing is, put on pause, put on hold, put on mute.
Yeah.
But God still didn't change his mind about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then he gives you something else.
Yeah.
He gave you another gift.
Yeah.
Daughter, what you gonna do with it?
What you
go full term?
That is it. That is it.
So I just want to those things so we're being spiritually stretched as much as our bodies are being stretched through the physical process. He's spiritually stretching us as well.
Yeah.
So what you going? Somebody put what you gonna do?
That's it. And that's the thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
No, I was just saying that's the thing. And, when I say God is faithful, I mean every bit of it, right? Because he is the God that does not condemn you, nor does he, count your wrongs or count your bad decisions or count your disobedience or count when, you say yes, but you ain't really say yes. He is still there. He's like, okay, no problem. I'm going to still be with her. She may have made that decision to abort, but let me go ahead and give her something else because what I have in her has to come out. It has to. I don't care how many try to abort it. It got to come out. And it's going to come out one way or another, whether you push it out or whether you got to get it cut open and pulled out.
That's some good stuff. It's coming out.
It's coming out. And that is a part of birthing. It has to come out. And rather you pushing it out or rather you cutting it open, you're still dealing with force. You're still dealing with pain. You're still dealing with destruction. You're still dealing with the challenges, the physical challenges of pushing or bringing forth this baby. You still have to. So it's no way. One thing my mentor told me and my husband, pain is inevitable. Like it's going to be pain. It's going to be pain. But in pain, there's always there's always like the beauty of it. It's always like what it say, beauty for ashes. Like
Mm-hmm.
always a reward in your pain. You like any challenge, any like I said, the process is painful. Pushing it through, it's painful. After delivery, it's still painful.
You got to
But
heal. You got all these things. Yeah.
there's still joy. There's still peace. There's still fulfillment. There's
Mhm.
still, knowing that you birthed something in the earth that God had placed inside of you is a fulfillment within itself.
What about
Yeah.
the fact that he entrusted?
He entrusted. He ain't asked nobody else to do. He entrusted you with that baby. If he wanted to give it to somebody else, he would. But
Jaquel, that's some good stuff right there because we have women, you know, who are unable to carry,
yeah. Hmm.
but to know that God entrusts you to carry. And it doesn't make that woman any less, right? Because all of us, we got to start from where we are.
Yeah.
But to know that, wow, God, you entrusted me to carry this baby. That's a big deal.
Yes. Yes. And rather, and you spoke on that, even if, like you said, if there are some women out here that can't carry. However, there's something, whether it was adopted or whether it was given to you because he trusted you. Okay, look, whatever the circumstances is, I need you to handle this.
It's yours.
It's yours. It is yours. So rather it's naturally yours, spiritually, rather you birthed it out personally, rather it was given to you by way of adoption or whatever the case may be, it is yours. God trusted you with that thing. And he trusted you for a reason. And a part of that is because he has placed so much in you to impact the world. Like that thing that is in you to be birthed, it's a part of you impacting the world. It's a part of it's a part of you impacting the world.
You know
And
what I Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is too good. I don't want to cut you off, so
No,
you go ahead. So what came to mind when you said that? You know how in families, especially if it's a big family, or however where the children get like hand-me-downs when they get the clothes passed down,
mm-hmm.
and nobody ever want because you talked about adoption,
Yeah,
right? It's almost like, but those, no one never wanted to have those clothes that was handed down from the other one. Can I get my own outfit? Can I
right.
do this myself, right? But it's not how you got it, but it's the fact that you got it. That might
Yeah,
not be right English, right? But it's not how you acquired it. But
yeah,
it's what are you doing? Not what are you doing with what you have?
yeah. It's
Because are you being a good steward over that child? Are you being a good steward over those finances? Are you being a good steward over the thing that he's put in you,
yeah,
entrusted
yeah,
you with? Because it's not so much what we what's in our hands, but what are you doing with it? Whether you have $5, if we can't be a good steward over 25 cents or $1 that he gives us, why would he entrust us with more?
you can't be a good steward over the few. Why would he bless you with the more? Why would he, and yeah.
That's some good stuff. You taking me on. I mean, because I think this is so necessary
Hmm.
because sometimes we get stuck
Yeah.
when those obstacles come, and you don't even get to the place where you can bask in the beauty of your baby, the beauty of seeing the baby grow, the beauty of seeing your vision unfold in the earth.
Yes.
What if you abort it? What if the other thing is we talked about is not about us. God has a whole plan. There are people that Caden will touch in the earth. Hunter will touch in the earth. They are
Mm-hmm.
people that you are touching even now in the earth.
Yes.
I even think about when my mom was having me. She
Mm-hmm.
had such a difficult time. It's in my first book. Go get it. Go read it. Right?
Yes.
From reality to a wealthy place.
Yes.
If she would have aborted me, this moment would not have been.
When I have happened.
So can we just think about, I sit and think about, if I don't walk in my full purpose, there is somebody waiting for you to show up. There is somebody waiting for you. Somebody said, nurture the baby. There is somebody waiting for you to fully walk in the destiny,
Yes.
to walk in your now. Somebody's waiting to walk through the doors of your dance school.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
about the time when you had the vision to do a vision board party for the young ladies. I'm telling
Yes.
y'all, Jaquella's always pulling somebody's children together. She gonna have a mentor program with the young girls, a paint party. She gonna have the pamper me part. She gonna have something. But I remember when you had that vision.
Yes.
Now, if I'm remembering correctly, you didn't have a whole month and weeks to plan it out. God gave it to you, and
Few
what did you do?
days.
2 days. Which
I,
you followed through with it.
yes.
You nurtured it.
Yeah.
And she had the whole house packed, even going outside,
Yes.
children running left and right. Food. You wouldn't even known that she planned this thing in 2 days.
Yeah.
Parents was that. Now you know it's hard sometimes to get parents, but parents stayed with the children.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a drop off.
Yeah.
So what I think about is, what if you would have said, "Oh God, not me. Y'all know we be bad. Oh God, no."
Mm-hmm.
That child wouldn't have been blessed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you hope? And we're talking to each other. We're talking to our viewers. What is
Yeah.
that thing? I'm talking to myself.
Yeah. What is that thing?
That
One of
you
the
go
one of the
ahead.
things that came to my mind when you spoke about Kaden and Hunter, and one of the things that I was taught was to, um, pray and ask the Lord what is the purpose for their lives, because they're kids, right? And the way I want to raise them is in the purpose that God has them. So rather, if Kaden is supposed to be, I'll just say, a dancer, or if she's supposed to deal with hospitality, whatever the case may be, I try to put her in the things that will push her to her purpose, right? And that's one of the things that God was like really sharing with me. He was just like, even when you birth that thing forward, even when you birth it, continue to pray and ask me strategies. Ask me where can you get the resources? Where do I need to, where do you want me to, where do you want this thing to go? Right? It doesn't just come in, okay, let me write it down because I want it to manifest. But I got to keep going to the Father to make sure that I'm still in alignment,
I'm
to
going to
make
throw this
sure that
calculator at you.
it's
Yes.
still in the alignment with the will of God, because that's for my life. That's the way I live. That's the way I I have to do things. Is if I wanted to be successful, if I wanted to, if I want God to get the glory or whatever the case may be, I have to go to the source. And
Can't say
so
that
I go to
source
the
again.
kids. I go to the source about my husband. I go to the source about, I'm gonna say everything, but the things that I pray for, the things that I, I wrote down, and even with that, God is teaching me. Yes, you better come to me about everything, because yes, I birthed this thing through. Now you gotta, like my friend said, you gotta nurture this baby, and with nurturing the baby is seeking the Lord on how, what I need to do.
The
Yeah,
giver of the gift, you have to keep
the gift.
taking it back to him.
Hmm. Yeah, so
That's
that
good.
was the things that the Lord, like I said, just reminded me of. It was just like, continue to come to me. It doesn't stop after you birth it. It doesn't
Can
stop there.
somebody hashtag that? It doesn't, I don't know if that's too long, but y'all can abbreviate it. It doesn't stop after you birth it.
It
After you
doesn't.
birth. Ooh.
Delivery. I'm sorry. After it's been delivered, it doesn't stop. Actually,
It doesn't stop after delivery.
that's where it begins.
The nurturing
Mhm.
process.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's Are y'all
Yeah.
being blessed out there? Are y'all getting some nuggets? Is this good to you? Because I'm trying to hold it together as a host tonight, but I knew that this is going to be heavy because when we talk about birthing and manifestation, I'm like, Lord, you gave me this topic, and I haven't physically gone through this, but I feel like I'm telling y'all, this is a transparent moment. Look, this whole month, like I have been sleeping crazy. Like I have never gone through the natural process. But you can tell me, I've been sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the couch, flipping, dipping. I'm like, Lord, what are you doing with me? Right?
Yeah.
This is I'm like, if this how the baby gonna be when the baby come, oh
And
Father.
yes. I was just about to say that. Yes, you will become sleep deprived. And that was in my notes. When that
Really?
comes, oh, it's gonna be some stuff. It's
You
gonna
can't sleep. I can't even hardly eat. I think I have an appetite for this. I didn't went and got some cookie. I don't eat no cookies like that. I'm trying to get on a treadmill, do the opposite thing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? God,
but as
what is
you know,
this?
it it gets, and I will say this, yes, we go through the challenges. Yes, we are sleep deprived. And I'm speaking in the spiritual, and I'm also speaking in the natural.
Absolutely.
Um yes, it's gonna be a struggle. Yes, you want to give up. Yes, you want to, and these, like I said, this is the stuff that when I know growing up, people didn't give me. I'll say this, I don't remember getting the real. All I got was, it's gonna be great. You're gonna be able to do
The
this,
good side.
that, and that's it. They didn't tell me all the other stuff, that you gotta dig for this thing, that you gotta work for this thing, that it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be pain that's attached to this thing. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be sleep deprived. You're gonna feel like giving up. You're gonna feel like, yo, I can't do this. Well, I don't want to do this. Anyway, I can't. It's I don't want to.
Even after you went through the whole 9 months,
Even
you get to the
after
end and be like, I can't do it.
even after, and I think about this even when I do open up my dance school, like, Lord, okay, once I get it, and how am I gonna maintain this thing? I know I'm gonna be, I know it's gonna be a struggle, but it's all for God's glory, and it's gonna be a joy. It's a reward, and my children, my husband, are a reward to me. It's something, like I said, I prayed for. I wrote it down. I pray, ask God, you know, this is what I want. And listen, I got books for days, okay? Journals. I got journals to probably write 5 books, okay?
Yeah.
But it was all, like, I go back to this. It was all about a part of the process. We had this idea of this perfect pregnancy, right? We had this idea of this perfect marriage, or this perfect whatever it is, whatever what our idea is, but we forget about the challenges. We forget about, the pain. We forget about the obstacles. We
Yeah.
forget about, if, okay, all right, I gotta deliver this baby today. It ain't 9 months yet, but you got to, because in order for it to, like I said, in order for it to be great in the earth, it has to come when God releases that water. And when he breaks that water, or when it's time, it's time.
It's no holding back.
It's no holding back. So once you say yes to whatever the Lord has birthed in you to come to fruition, oh, it's a ride. It's a ride. Put your seatbelt on. It can be smooth and steady. It can be rocky and bumpy. It can be wherever it can be. Wherever your journey is, just appreciate it
And embrace it.
and know that God is with you throughout the entire process. And not only that, continue to seek the Father for strategies, instructions, the next thing on how to again nurture that baby while you're pregnant, when you go through delivery, after delivery, because it has to still be, it has to maintain, it has to go forth. So yeah.
You just look, y'all. She just dropped all these nuggets and just was like, and yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, um, Jaquel, you have poured out tonight out of a space that I don't believe you even thought you had. I mean, you had, you know what I'm saying, but you wasn't like, now, Lord. But as you stated, when you say yes to God, you don't know what's on the other side of that yes. You said something that hit me when you said you didn't know when you wrote it down when God was going to give it. He was going to take you out of your comfort zone, away from your family. The ones that like if nobody else in my family is serious about family, Jaquel is
Yes.
serious about family.
Yes.
And that support system. And so I know that even with that happened in the physical, but in the spiritual, God is doing something even greater
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Where he's taking you and pulling you away from your comfort zone because there's some things that you have to tap into that you can't hold on to the support system, right? That you're so used to. But now the support system is God. And so that book that you those 5 books,
No.
right?
Lord.
We ain't got to put the pressure on the 5 books, but the one
Woo.
is at least at the minimum. It's coming.
Amen.
And all of those journals you have, oh, we're going to flip them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because people need this.
Yeah.
People need it. My bishop preached on Sunday, easy and simple,
Mm.
about, and shout out to Bishop Joel
Yeah.
Anderson, Open
Yeah.
Door Fellowship. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But easy and simple. One thing I know what God is doing in this season, the things that, see, it's some things that we have to fight for. And yes, we just talked about that process, but I believe that also there's a flow with God.
Yes.
There's a flow with God. And when it's for us, when it's like it's for me, and the way I know God deals with me, when it's an ease and a flow that comes with the things that he's given me. When I gotta fight for it and just, like when it's like a hard fight, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I won't brush up against some challenge. Okay, God, we know you got this. We got
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? It's an ease and a flow. And so God is going to, in this season, you talked about alignment. All of these words are showing up. These are my favorite words. Manifestation, alignment, birthing. What? Execution, evaluate, activate, elevate. Let's
All
go.
that.
All of that. That's me. But this is that time when we step into it. It's going to be an ease. It's going to be a flow. It's going to be simple. And God has a formula. Sometimes we make it so big, but it's like, can you just trust me in this process of this birthing and this manifestation? Don't worry about when 18 comes, 18 years from now. Just embrace this moment. Just embrace this moment in the here and now.
Yeah.
You talked about resources.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even worry about the whole pressures in pregnancy, right? About, all right, you plan towards things, but it's
Yeah.
like, we worrying about a college fund right now. No, right now you want to get the baby out of you so you
Yes.
can, at least take them home, put them in a crib that you just put up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in the same way, in the spiritual, can we just trust God?
Yeah.
for the now. Get in alignment. It's a scripture that I posted today. And in my devotions this morning, and I'm going to allow you to wrap up, Jaquel, but
Mm-hmm.
this morning in my devotions, it is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 24, NLT. That's the version I read this morning. And it came up as a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
I will answer them before they even call to me. While they are still talking about their needs, I will go ahead and answer their prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And what resonated within me is that God already knows. He knows your list. He knows you're trying to check it twice. He knows everything that you want, this whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But he also wants us to trust him and release it all to him and know that the way that he wants to give it to us. You might have wanted the birth at home. And like you said earlier, maybe he said go birth the baby in a car. You know. But whatever it is, we have to get in position. TD Jake say what? Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, y'all. Get in. We have to get in formation.
What's the scripture again? People are asking for the scripture.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 24. Any version will be good to your soul, but I read the NLT today.
Yes, any version.
And when I heard that, it's like I remember it was certain things I was dealing with, in a season. And before I can I was doing my due diligence and I sent the paperwork off. By the time I got home, I did my due diligence and I sent the paperwork off. And we still talking about the same topic, right? But before I got home, I looked in the mail. He had already, what I had sent off, the company sent back a response and they had gave me set rates and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, wait a minute. And then
Yeah.
he gave me a witness
Yeah.
to the process.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. So when I read this, it's like, God, he's already gone before us. And while we thinking about it and talking about it, he already then went in. And
Yeah.
so it's up to us to show up, get in position. And I want to admonish as we're closing out today, women, children, women, boys and girls, even the children, they ain't birthing out, but they have a purpose in the earth,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we got to get in our birth position, get in the position and align ourselves
Yes.
with what God has for us. And it's not about being deep,
Yeah.
but this is the time in the season. So we have to line up, get things in order. And he keeps putting to me, prepare, prepare, prepare. Like when you say you're preparing for the baby to come,
Yes.
you say, I want to get it, because then we're doing baby reveals and all these other things. You're
Yeah.
preparing, you're getting the things. That's how God wants us to do.
Yes.
Start preparing
Yes.
and embrace the process, set the tone, and be the change, be the solution, be the nurturer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as we're closing, Jaquel, you just stirred up, you stirred it up in me tonight, and you were, um, tonight was assigned to you.
Amen. Thank you.
And I just thank God for you and your yes tonight, for coming on and just sharing on this topic. You was, you know,
Yes.
just amazing. So, I know you just said some words, and you gave some words of encouragement. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our guests before we close out tonight?
Sure. Like you already stated, the words as far as, preparation and alignment and things like that. And all I would say for my journey, writing down my thoughts, writing down what God has given me has been essential in my life.
Yeah.
Praying, asking God for strategies and how to nurture this thing. Like you said, preparing in the natural. We buy clothes, we buy cribs, we buy, different things to prepare for what's to come.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do with the thing that God has placed inside of us, is to prepare for what's to come. Because when it comes, you got to take off. It's go time, right? Um, just already know that God has already set the stage. He already created the environment for the delivery. And He's going to be with you. He's going to be with you. Knowing that, trusting that we can trust our Father, knowing that we can trust our Father is, and like I said, it's better said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, okay, Lord, you told me to trust you, and it ain't looking good. It ain't. But even when it doesn't look good, even when you do go through the challenges, even when you want to give up, just know that God has something prepared for you. It's a reason why He gave it to you. It's a reason why you have to bring that thing forth. And that's it. Like, you have to bring that thing forth. And, you know, it's not going to look like nothing. It's somebody else's. It's yours. It's going to look like what came from you. It's going to have your DNA attached with his DNA. But it's going to be your DNA attached to that thing. Whatever that thing is. And don't be afraid. No. Do it afraid. Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid. Because honestly, sometimes doing it afraid will push us to do it even more. And I've experienced that, especially when you're in a place where you have no other choice.
No reference point.
No reference point. You have no other choice, but all you have is you either going to abort it or you're going to deliver it.
It's no in
Those,
between, right?
no in between.
You
It's
can't
either,
keep that baby. Oh, Jesus.
you
That
can't.
just hit me. You can't keep it in you.
You can't keep it in you. It has to come out. It has to come out. And trust me, the more you try to keep it, when you think about the natural, when people go over their 9 months, they are exhausted. They are like, I'm exhausted at 7 months. I'm exhausted at 6 months. So the more you try to keep it in you, the more weighed down you feel, the more exhausted you feel, the more pressure you feel.
You just
And
messed me up.
as soon as you deliver that thing, it's like, oh my God, it's a relief for that
So,
moment.
so if anybody out there, I'm not cutting you off, but it just hit something. If anybody out there, you feeling fatigued, you feeling weighed down, and ask yourself, am I executing?
Am
Am I
I?
birthing out that thing, whatever it is? Because
Mm-hmm.
that might be. Am I still in my comfort zone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Answer that question. It's either going to be a yes or no. You can't be in the middle. Oh, I'm halfway there. No. Yes
Yeah.
or no.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
You keep just dropping all these nuggets and just like them backing
Yeah.
up. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
And that's my birthing experience between with Hunter and Kaden has caused me to, and with everything else, has caused me to like stand up, or to face what I know is in me that needs to come out. Because even here, I know God had to change my environment because what I wanted to birth couldn't be birthed in Baltimore. It has to be in a different environment.
he may change your location.
He's going to change your location now.
You're not in control of that. When you say God birthed it, right here, you
Exactly.
birthed it right here in this corner, on that floor, on that mat, in that water, in that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we can't determine the location of where it's supposed to be birthed. It has to be with God. Because the thing is, the environment has to be conducive to what is being delivered. It, it has to be. And like you said, like I said, when you say yes to God, you're saying yes to whatever comes with that. Whatever comes with it. You're saying yes to whatever comes with it. And a lot of times we're not going to like it. And that's being honest because we're so used to one thing. It's like, okay, we plan out our life to go this way, that way, blah, blah, blah. And God's like, okay, that's nice and all, but you told me yes, so let me go ahead and tell you what's really happening, what I really have inside of you, where I really want you to be, where I know you're going to excel, where I know you're going to thrive, where I know your audience is waiting for you. Your audience is waiting for you. My audience, it's like my time was up. And now it's like I had to shift places. I had to make a shift. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that I'm learning. Because in the beginning, I was like confused, like, why am I here? I don't know nobody. I'm in the house. This is not me. Pandemic or no pandemic. This ain't me.
Let me break
But
out.
yes, I had a full schedule when I was in Baltimore. Here, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Me and my kids became best friends, okay? Like, that's all I had between my kids and my husband. But that was something that needed to take place because even in that, and this is, vulnerability, when I was in Baltimore, Kaden didn't have much of me. But now that I'm here, she does. And because of that, now the relationship grew. Now, I can see the purpose on her life. Now I can focus in on her. It's like the Lord had to show me, like, yes, I assigned girls to you, but I also gave you your own. And you can't neglect what I gave you.
Wow.
You have to start home. Like, you have to, what I gave you, you have to nurture that back.
Before you go to the next thing to nurture, you got to nurture the thing that's currently in the front of you.
Yes. Because that's the thing that's going to keep your name. That's the thing that when you talk about generational,
Your
wealth,
legacy.
your legacy, that's the thing that's going to carry. So that's the way. So it's like I'm finding purpose. I'm finding my reasoning now. After I done pouted, after I done was mad and disappointed and frustrated, after all that, it's like, all right, I can see now, Lord. Here I am again. He's like, what you want to do? Go back home? I'm like, okay, no. I got to stay right where I'm at.
You can't do that. Now, you really can't do that, right?
You can't go back home. You got to stay where you are and grow up.
Somebody puts stay where you are. And
Mm,
oh, did you say grow up?
I did.
Oh, wait a minute,
Oh.
y'all. Somebody, if you still on here, just please stay where you are and grow up. Oh gosh, Jesus. Y'all, we're gonna have a whole TV show. Look, this stuff is too much. Look, stay where you are and grow up. Oh, Jesus, she just grow up. Somebody gotta grow up.
You got to.
You can have the age, but you ain't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where that shift, that mindset has to take place.
You have to grow up. See, I'm trying to end this thing tonight. But stay where you are and grow up. Oh, somebody might want to leave where their church is. Mm-hmm. They might want to hop. Like, I ain't got time for this. I'm about to go to another ministry, a ministry that deserves me, a ministry that got back. God said, stay where you are and grow up. Oh, Jesus.
That's it.
What?
I
don't know who that was for. But if it was for you, if it resonated. But maybe it wasn't. But whatever.
And it's so funny that you say that because that was me. That was me. All right, I'm leaving this. All right, I'm going here. Like where I'm at now, it's like I can't. It's like you're forced to grow up. You got to grow up.
God told me to stay where I am because I'm growing you up.
I'm growing you up because what I had
not the people.
Yeah, we can when we're comfortable. We get to a place where it's like, oh, okay, I don't like this. Let me go to the next. All right, I don't like this. Let me go, blah, blah, blah. And God's like, yeah, no,
Because what's the common denominator, though? You.
Yeah.
We were like, these people, they be in service all night. They be in service. He said,
Stay where you are.
But I'm doing it in you.
Yeah.
Because I want to do something through you. And
Mm-hmm.
in order for me to do it through you, I got to do the work in you.
Yeah. Refining, recalibrating, building your character. These are the things that are happening now in my process. Building who I am. Looking in the mirror.
Sometimes we don't even want to look in the mirror.
Listen. And honestly, let me go there. A lot of times after we deliver in the natural, we don't want to look in the mirror because it's like, oh, what you done went through. But sometimes you have to face where you are so you see what needs to be, like you said, what needs to be worked or what needs to be attacked or what needs to go or what needs to be adjusted. Sometimes we don't like to face, so we avoid things. And that's why in the natural, I was avoiding looking in the mirror. I'm like, nope, I got all these pounds up on me. I can't, But it's like, but when I finally did, I'm like, oh, I gotta work on that. Oh, I gotta get that out of here. Oh, I gotta tone that. Oh, that gotta go. Okay. So it's like once you face it, you know where you are. Like now you know how to move forward. Now you know what to work
Now
on.
you know.
Yeah.
So you got to face it and so that you can do the work and take the necessary steps to go forward.
Yeah.
I've
That's
been
all.
blessed tonight. If y'all didn't get Jaquel's tips, I wanted to repeat. You were sharing that, and I didn't even ask the direct question. What are some tips and things that help you? But you answered that. And I want to, give it back to the people tonight that the tips that she's used is writing. You said journaling, right? Journaling has helped her. The word of God says, write the vision and make it plain so that when you see it, that you can run with it. And that's in Habakkuk. Habakkuk said that I'm going to get on my watch, right? And to see what the Lord is saying. Sometimes, I'm not even going to get into that, but get on your watch, get on your post. We already said that. The word says get in position. So that's number one. Write it down. If anyone ever sits down coaching any guiding conversation, whatever you want, I am me anyway, so it's going to come out. I say write it down. Get it out of your head and write it down. Number two, she said that did you say prayer, right?
Yeah.
Prayer. And so she prayed. And you don't just pray for the first thing. Even once it's birth, right? Even once the delivery takes place, you got to keep taking it to God, and so prayer. And then I'm going to take it a step further, and sometimes you got to fast. You did talk about release.
Yes.
And letting some things, so you have, and do it in whatever order the Lord gives you. You might fast, pray, and then write. Right, pray, and then fast. But whatever way he gives you, do it. Do it. Execute on it. And so with that being said, with fasting, that's when you're releasing. You're releasing what you're used to. You're releasing and let things go. God put Jaquel in a whole different location. So she couldn't even hold on to the support system. I know Lydia like, look, says, working this role. I'm mama and everything. But that's when we're releasing, and we're surrendering things over to him. And so those are 3 tips. We and then we gave y'all all those other nuggets tonight. So if y'all not inspired, uplifted, uprooted out of, she told us to stay where you are, stand and grow up. Like if that ain't changed your whole life, then I don't know what else to do. But those are some tips that we want you to take away. Did you have anything else, Jaquel? Because I know we went back in deep.
I think that, look, I didn't.
She done wrote the vision over there, and so it's so funny because when Jaquel and us, when we finished connecting yesterday, I said, did she go into hiding? Did the sis go and pray and
Listen,
fast? Did she go turn her plate down to see God? What you speaking, tonight? What you gonna say to the daughter? I done said yes to her. Now, what in the world? So
what
I
is
sent her a little message today. Said, sis, you all right? I'm checking in. You good?
that, y'all impressed? I was like, okay, because any platform or wherever, like I said, this is the first time me releasing my true story with the world, okay,
Yeah.
or with whoever's watching, right? And that was nerve wracking. Of course, my close friends know, but as far as like everybody else, they didn't know, and of course, the enemy was trying to know, oh, you about to share it? They gonna judge you? They gonna look at you? They aren't you supposed to be this dancer? Just feeding all this stuff.
Yep.
But just had to. I was like, I'm going to. I'm going to, and I'm glad that I did. So I'm glad that you allowed me to be on your platform to share my story. I don't take it for granted. I don't take, speaking about God for granted, because and even in this, like I said, is changing my life because it's putting me back into position.
Yeah.
It's
Whew.
back in alignment with what my stance is. Because again, a lot, like I said before, sometimes when you go through that stuff and things hard, you be like, I don't want it. I'm good. I'm good, Lord. Like, I don't even, you go ahead and have that. But God, like, I need you. I called you. I chose you.
You. You the
I
one.
You the one. Ain't nobody else.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So he pointing the finger at us. We pointing out the other people. He like, no, you.
Yes.
And so I just want to, you just don't know how honored I am. You said you were honored for me to, but I'm honored that you came and your yes. And I just know that, oh my goodness, so much is in store. Like God is just stirring up the gift within us. And so
Yeah.
I know, and I'm glad to just be a part of that process even tonight. As you showed up authentically, oh my goodness, and so amazingly. And it's just such I just want to encourage you to continue doing and being who God called you to be in the earth unapologetically. There is
Yeah.
nothing that you have done, nothing that you've said that he is ashamed of. You walk in it, and that thing we talked about the other day when we were just catching
Yeah.
up, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, there are some things that people think that makes them disqualified, whether it is an illness, whether it is, a speech impediment.
Yeah.
My words, God told me to come on here, and I'm like, Lord, I'm trying to speak eloquently and all this other stuff. I don't talk like everybody else. I
Oh,
get tripped up sometimes, whatever it may be. But he said, no, you daughter, you go ahead. I'm like, all right, oh, here we go. So I'm sitting here in obedience. But whatever you think is the thing that is disqualifying you, you better pick that thing up and carry it into your purpose. Run into your purpose, okay? If it's ADHD, pick that ADHD and run into your purpose,
that's it.
okay? If it's a speech impediment, pick it up, run into your purpose. If cancer trying to knock you out, pick that cancer up and run into your purpose.
That's
Okay, it's not easy. No, 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 no. It's easier said than done. But guess what? In the best way, in the way that he has given it to you to pick it up
yes.
because he's entrusted you with this thing.
Yeah.
And it may look like the cup, the glass, the pitcher, whatever you drink out of, the wine, whatever the glass is,
Mm-hmm.
it's halfway full or empty, but it is pouring over. It's your perspective, it's our mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the battle is in our mind. And
That's it.
so tonight, I am so excited for not only what has taken place, but what God is doing. And yes, what he's yet to do. I see
Yeah.
some of my other sisters out here. I see you, I see you, I see you, and I'm coming for you. Just put your seatbelt on because I'm coming for you.
Don't
I'm
cut.
coming for you, okay? Jaquel, I'm coming for him, right?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. So just put your seatbelt on because we're gonna go on in. As behind me, I have these letters, the MO, the VE. It's time to move, everyone. It's time to move into our purpose, into our destiny. Tonight, we've had this amazing jewel, Mrs. Jaquel, Carol, to come on and just drop some amazing nuggets as we dug into this conversation of the birthing and the manifestation process. I hope that you were able to gather something and just take it away, store it up. Don't even store it. Just store it. Put it where you need to. Put it in your arsenal. But guess what? We want to empower you to action, to execute. Don't miss this moment. God gives us kairos moments that only come in time. And if you miss the moment, you're going to have to wait on that cycle. But now is the manifestation time. Now is for you. It is your birthing season. Walk into it, get in position, get in alignment, tune up, get your checkup, get what you need. Get what you need, get what you need. So I thank you all for joining today, whether you are on live or whether you are on the playback. This has been the 9th show of Sister to Sister. Let's Talk Power Moves with your host, Mone't S. Horton, and guest, Jaquel Carol. Thank you so much for coming on. Jaquel, do you mind giving us a word of prayer as we close out tonight? You know what's coming. Amen.
So, Father God, we just thank you, God. We thank you, God, for this opportunity, God, just to make you big. We thank you, God, for Mone't, for giving her the vision, for giving her the desire, and for her, yes, God, to push what you placed inside of her to be birthed, to be delivered, God, so that your kingdom can be magnified here on earth, God. Lord God, I pray for each and every one that joined, God. I pray, oh God, that they receive something that is just specifically for them, and that it would change, that it would edify, that it would heal, deliver, set free, whatever the case may be, God, that it happen in their lives, God. I pray covering, God, over Mone't, over the people that was on this live, oh God, that your will be done in their lives, that they will continue to push out what you have placed inside of them, and that it will be birthed, that it will be nurtured, and that it will fulfill your purpose in their lives. I thank you, we love you, and we bless your name. Amen.
Amen. Again, thank you all for joining tonight. This is the closing, the wrap up of tonight. Come back and join us. Don't just meet us here, but beat us here next Monday, same place, same time, 7 o'clock, Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. Our topic and our guests will be out. Stay tuned. And guess what? I also want to let you know, ladies, we are halfway through March Madness 31 Days of Prayer hosted by
Yeah.
Most Enterprise. Look, y'all, we have had 14 today's the 14th day of amazing women coming in their own right, unapologetically. That I love that word, y'all. And they are praying. Look, if you scream in your prayer, if you whisper in your prayer, if you a mid-tone, whatever it is, they are coming to you, and it has just been a blessing. And so I want to invite you all, if you have not came into and joined our private group, March Madness. You can search March Madness 31 Days of Prayer, Mone't S. Horton. Please go ahead and come on in every day at 7 a.m. The prayer of the day with the prayer focus is dropped in the chat. And the ladies are coming in. We understand all of the hats and all of the things that we're birthing out in the earth. And so even if you can't come in at 7, you guess what? You can play back. It's also on SoundCloud, even for people who are not on Facebook or Instagram. So you can click the link. Let me know. If you can't find it, having trouble finding it, just let me know. But you want to get connected, because guess what? Even as March is wrapping up, I have something else for you all. This is a movement. This is a move, okay? And so I want to let you know that you can still join us. We are halfway through. We have literally a playlist of prayers every day on different topics. You can look at my page, but join us. I just want to welcome you all. Take care, take charge. God bless. This is the end of today's show 9 with our guest, Mrs. Jaquel. Thank you, Jaquel, for joining us tonight. I love you and look forward to all the things that God has for you and everybody. God bless you. Take care. All right. See you all. Don't forget to join.